to The 80s, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to leak out of your older sister's room while she was making out with her boyfriend. That's right, in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Keith Marsteller, and joining me from Seattle, as always, it's the creator of The 80s, my longtime friend and co-host. And there's a 75% chance his sister's boyfriend was named Todd. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith.
Jesus God, man, where are you?
Oh, I'm in my bathroom, Keith.
Joe, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Well, Keith, if any of our listeners are old enough to have seen the movie Rad, they probably need to schedule a colonoscopy. So I'm doing a public service. In the great tradition of Katie Couric, I'm raising awareness of colonoscopies by bringing our listeners in on the process.
Dude, that's not what she was trying to...
So folks, I have downed a 16-ounce glass of colonoscopy prep, and now I'm waiting for it to kick in.
No. Listen, man, we are going to cut this off right now.
Keith, around 50,000 people died from colorectal cancer in 2024.
Yes, I know it's serious, man. Trust me, but this isn't the way that we need to do
Also, Keith, this is a great metaphor for the first week of the Trump administration.
Okay, we are pulling the plug on this right now.
Oh, God, it's kicking in. Oh, shit.
Sorry, I had to pull it for technical,
No, I get
there.
that. I'm glad our listeners didn't have to hear that. It was brutal.
Wow. Well, that's... we have reached a new height.
But no, seriously, go get a colonoscopy, people.
I'm telling you, I'm a survivor of that cancer, and I will say, get it checked out.
Do it.
I did, and it saved my life, everybody. That's why I'm here to do this podcast.
Yay.
So, well, welcome back, everybody, to the 80s.
Welcome back.
It's Martin Luther King Day, and so we wish you a happy one of those, a reflective day today.
Yeah, public service.
Yep. And so, today in our 51st show, Joe, what we're doing here is we're moving on to the third round.
Wow.
And so what that means is it's also known as the Sweet 16.
It's pretty sweet.
And the other way we're going to refer to it is the regional Final Four, right? So it's not the Final Four.
No.
But there's 4 regions. There's 4 left in each region.
Right.
And we're going to hit all 4 songs today, 2 matchups. We're about to reveal what they are, and we're going to reveal the first 2 and do a matchup. And, of course, we'll do that with the Tale of the Tape. Bye!
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
It's the Tale of the Tape. He's out!
Our first match starts with our number 1 seed, If You Leave by OMD, which is from the 1986 movie Pretty in Pink, and charted at number 4. To arrive here in our last round, it wrecked Family Ties' darling number 9 seed At This Moment by Billy Vera and the Beaters. Our number 1 overall seed beat the Beaters, taking 79% of the vote.
A brutal bludgeoning. Yikes.
Billy's not surviving that one.
And the challenger today is number 4 seed, Send Me an Angel by Real Life, which is from the aforementioned movie Rad. That's right. And it's also from 1986, summer of 1986. This song, Send Me an Angel, charted at number 26 that summer. Now, to arrive here, Real Life handily dispatched 5 seed. I've Had The Time of My Life by Medley and Warnes from Dirty Dancing. And Send Me an Angel won that matchup with 63% of the vote. So pretty definitively sending home the Dirty Dancing crew. That's it for that movie.
They
Swayze out in the first round, and that's it. So here we are in the Tale of the Tape. Let's play a little bit of If You Leave, and then we'll hit Send Me an Angel. Oh, what a great song. Jesus. I think for this one, to get to 2 minutes of it, I'm going to drop in. A couple of minutes of that song, and we're gonna follow it straight up, back to back with Real Life. Send Me an Angel. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. That's the stuff, Joe.
Do you believe in heaven above? Do you believe in love? Don't tell a lie, don't be false or untrue. It all comes back to you. Fire on my burning heart. I've never been lucky in love. My defenses are down, a kiss or a frown. I can't survive on my own. If a girl walks in and calls her name in my heart, I'll turn and run away. Every day we've all been led astray. It's hard to be lucky in love. It gets in your eyes, it's making you cry. Don't know what to do, don't know what to do. You're looking for love, calling heaven above. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now. Right now. Send me an angel. Send me an angel. Right now.
God, it's so high.
Right now.
All right, I'm gonna drop in on this one too. Kind of. There we go.
Send me an angel. Right now. Right now.
Is that a theremin?
Sounds like it.
man, what an ending. All right, well, those two songs have
So
just...
did you play more than 2 minutes of that song?
No, it probably felt like it, but we actually played a little less of Send Me an Angel than If You Leave. So
I see.
Yep, I dropped in, but yes. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
Let's find out. Although I think we know this one. Let's review who's to blame on these. I think my dead grandmother would have picked more 80s songs than you, Joe.
I gotta be honest, Keith. I'd rather listen to a wet fart.
Well, it can be arranged.
All right. Number 1 seed, If You Leave, has an overall point total of 8. 1 from Keith, 7 from me. We're both responsible, Keith slightly more so. This song, If You Leave, has the lowest total points for any song in the tournament.
It is our overall number 1 seed. Yep, it's powerful.
right.
Meanwhile, Send Me an Angel comes in with 73 points. 65 of them from Joe, who did not rank the song, and 8.
Goddamn right.
8 from me, who brought this song back from the dead, realizing I had the year wrong in the first side A thing when I was put it in my also rans. It turns out it was from 86, not 83. Anyway, I put it in as number 8. And so therefore it is entirely me. So we've got some big votes, 2 single-digit votes from me here and a single-digiter from you.
Yeah.
So I think I know where this is going to go, but let's find out if you like these songs.
That's the way I like it.
Keith, I love this song.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That's the way it has to be, 'cause that's the way I like it.
All right, Joe, let's ask you
Yes.
about If You Leave.
Of course I love the song. I'm fucking human, aren't I?
That's right, yeah.
What about you?
If You Leave is in the running for my favorite song of the 80s. It's right there. I think it's similar to the way you might feel about that In Excess song, Never Tear Us Apart.
Right,
It is
right.
way, way up there sentimentally, and I just love the song. It's among my favorites. And I mean, that's being in my top 5 80s songs puts it in my top 10 of all time, probably. So,
Right.
so yeah, I love it.
Okay. What
ahead.
about Send Me an Angel, Keith? How do you feel about that?
Send Me an Angel is an inferior song to If You Leave in terms of at least emotionally,
I see.
but it fucking kicks ass. I fucking love the song in a different way. It doesn't affect me emotionally, but I just think it fucking rules. What about you?
I mean, it's all right.
It's okay if you hate it. It's fine.
No. I do not hate this song.
Okay.
I do not hate this song. I do not have 1,000th of the passion for the song that you do.
Oh man, it's so intrinsically wrapped up with Rad and that scene at the dance.
Yeah.
Oh, if you guys haven't seen it, you're really cheating yourselves out of a piece of 80s memorabilia there.
Are you gonna post that video on this post too?
I guess I could put it on here again. I hadn't planned on
sure.
it, but why not? If it'll Send Me an Angel votes, maybe I would do it. I don't know.
Sweet Jesus God.
All right, well, that's what we're here. My worst nightmare has come true, and 2 of my favorite songs in the bracket, one of them's going home, right?
Yep.
So that's how it goes. Well,
Sorry, Sophie.
let's hit the courtroom.
All right, play on it.
Can you answer the question? That is a lucid, intelligent, well thought out objection. Overruled. I'm holding you in contempt of court.
All right, Joe, time to make some arguments. I can make an argument for either one of these. So if you have something you want to say first, jump on it, man.
Well, why don't we do this? We've talked. Well, this is the 3rd round. We have talked about these songs a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about their origins. We've talked about the movies they belong to. We've talked about what makes both of them incredible. And let's face it, if they made it to the 3rd round, they're pretty 80s.
They're really 80s at this point.
Right.
We're not going to have any clinkers left at this point.
So if we're weighing these two songs against each other, to me, If You Leave, right? We talked about how it's one of those everything kind of tastefully executed.
So tasteful.
It's got the synth, but it's not overproduced. Send Me an Angel, overproduced. Okay. There are different styles of quintessential 80s songs.
Yeah.
But they're both really 80s. For me, then, Cultural Footprint.
Sure.
Cultural Footprint, If You Leave, has a much stronger case. It was from the John Hughes movie.
Literally everyone listening to us, 90% have seen Pretty in Pink. Right. I would say the inverse is true for Rad. I'm going to guess 10% have seen Rad. Maybe less.
That might be overstating it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's somewhere in that range. It's like 5 to 10% have seen Rad. So, yes, but I will counter with our friend who was in the clubs back in the day has said Send Me an Angel had a huge impact in the clubs. Big club song. Okay. Now, granted, one-hit wonder for real life, whereas OMD, several big hits, several good albums, whether
but I gotta say, to counter that, a good one-hit wonder can still be an entirely 80s song and can be a better embodiment of the decade.
Yeah, that's fair. So if I were showing one of my nephews a song to say, here's what sound production could be in the 80s, I would play Send Me an Angel. If I had to say, here's one of the songs that was most important to me in the 80s, I would play If You Leave.
Right.
Because that's true. Send Me an Angel was not a song I played, put on a mixtape for my girlfriend at the time, right? This was the same exact summer that these two were out. Right. With that same exact first girlfriend of mine or whatever. And I can promise you Send Me an Angel was not on a mixtape. The mixtapes that we exchanged were not Send Me an Angel.
Did you ever sit down with this girl and watch Rad?
No. I've only ever watched Rad with guys. I've never watched Rad with a girl. I think I tried to watch it with Marsha and she was not interested in it. Like
Marsha, you have good taste.
She has seen the essential scene at the biking during the dance, but she has not seen the rest of it, and she doesn't really need to. She knows what happens. Essentially,
she has, of course, seen Pretty in Pink.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, like I say, 90% of people both have seen it, and to a lot of folks, to several anyway, it's their favorite or most important John Hughes film. That's not the case for me.
For people who are our exact age,
yes.
I think Pretty in Pink came in when we were a little bit older. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club when we were slightly younger.
Yeah, a little more informative.
So this one might have been a little bit more relatable to where we were at the time.
Well, it was happening at a high school prom, and we were the exact age to be going to a high school prom when it was kind of coming out. So, I mean, the climax of the film was at a prom, I should say. But then again, so was the climax of Rad.
Okay.
No, that wasn't the climax. That was actually, the prom scene comes very early, way too early in the film.
So it's part of the rising action of the movie Rad.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's in the first third of the film, which is a weird place to put it. But anyway, it's a tough one, dude, and I came into this not knowing which one to choose. I have a giant urge to vote for both of them, and I know I'm going to have to pick one in the next few moments here.
You are.
I'm pretty sure I should be going first, but I'm going to have you go first to preserve some of the drama, because I think everyone listening, knows probably where you're going, but maybe they're wrong. But I'll give you some bongos to think about this one.
All right. I will say I don't need the full bongos.
All right, I'll fade the bongos. All right.
Because I don't need any time to think. I'm going with If You Leave, because again, for me, I see the point, the argument for both of these. I respect anyone's vote on this. For me, If You Leave had a much bigger impact, and it is as 80s in its way as Send Me an Angel.
Way, yeah.
If You Leave gets my vote.
I think If You Leave deserves my vote for the role it's played in my life, for the number. If we looked at the numbers that we stacked up, like of total plays of songs, If You Leave would be in the thousands of plays.
Yeah.
And Send Me an Angel would be in the hundreds of plays. I mean, I do love both songs, but If You Leave, especially back then, was way more important to me. Mm-hmm. But I need somebody to vote for Send Me an Angel, and so I think I don't want it going down 100-0. So
it would not.
I'm pretty sure.
You're giving it
If
a
You
pity
Leave,
vote?
No, I'm giving it a production vote, because those drums, that drum machine, that ending, oh, fuck me. That BMX prom dancing is so beyond. Like, there is no decade beyond the 80s where this would happen. Romances and class discrepancies are still happening that happened in Pretty in Pink. This weird fucking BMX shit that was going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a trapped in the decade movie and not a classic like Pretty in Pink.
Got it.
So it's not as much a pity vote. I think it's me trying to overcome the love that I have for If You Leave to see how 80s Send Me an Angel is. I'm voting Send Me an Angel.
Okay. So, Keith, you say that you came in here not knowing which one you would vote for.
Yep. I voted If You Leave.
I came in 100% knowing what you would vote for. 100%.
You already knew.
I had no doubt.
Even though If You Leave is my number one ranked song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though at the very end I almost said If You Leave anyway. You just knew.
I had zero doubt, man.
Well, I guess that's fair. I had no doubt where you were going with it. Well, all right. Well, that brings us to the second matchup, and we will see who has made it to these last two slots in this region.
All right.
Fight!
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
All right. Joe, hit me.
Here we go. Our second matchup. The second 2 of the final 4 starts with our number 3 seed, Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
Wow.
Which was huge on the Top Gun movie soundtrack in the summer of, that's right, third movie from 1986, charging to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. To make the third round, Berlin stomped the shit out of stalwart Eldebarge and his hit Who's Johnny from the Ali Sheedy Steve Guttenberg vehicle. Wow. Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Berlin won by taking 75% of the
That
votes.
is a straight up curb stomping of Who's Johnny. Well,
they kicked him to the curb and then they yelled, "That's who Johnny is,
that's
bitch."
Bitch. All right. And now the final slot in the movies region, the final 4 of the movies region, goes to... do I have a timpani in here anywhere? Should I, can I do a freaking timpani? Let's see. There we go. 15 seed, The Glory of Love by Peter Cetera, Joe.
What?
Whew. And that was also from a big summer of, holy shit, all 4 songs, summer of 1986
Great
movie.
God almighty.
All 4 songs are from the same summer of the same year, summer of 1986 movie.
He's crazy, man.
Karate Kid Part 2. And this song also charted at number 1 for that summer. And then to arrive here, our Cinderella Cetera upset heavy favorite, Tim Capello's The Lost Boys Oily Sax Fest. 7 seed, I Still Believe. And Pet Cetera took 67% of the votes to be the lowest seed so far to make the Sweet 16. So, congratulations to pet, etc.
Tim
And
Capello, I still believe.
yeah, I do too. Poor guy. He deserves some more votes than that.
You can just kind of see him, like, slowly walking sadly back to his car, oil dripping from his body.
Yeah, he
his
gets the
saxophone
oil
dented.
And he probably doesn't have a lot of money, so he probably doesn't have leather seats. He probably has cloth seats that the oil is just going to soak into. More cost-conscious car that's got a little cloth seats. Anyway, now we're going to play in the tail of the tape here. We're going to finish it up by playing a little of each of these songs, starting with the iconic intro to Berlin's Take My Breath Away.
There it is.
Watching every motion in my foolish love's game. On this endless ocean, finally lovers know no shame. Turning and returning to some secret place inside. Watching in slow motion as you turn around and say, take my breath away. Take my breath away. Watching, I keep waiting, still anticipating love. Never hesitating to become the faded one. Turning, returning to some secret place to hide. Watching in slow motion as you turn to me and say, my love, take my breath away. Fully hourglass.
Well, that's going to hit our 2-minute mark for that, but that's,
Okay.
I should have maybe jumped to the end to give you a different taste of it, but I was just enjoying it and kind of lost track of it.
No. It's all mood, man.
Speaking of things I might not enjoy, how about we'll just play this guy here. I'll try to remember to jump to the end of this one after the first chorus. We'll see how we do.
Well, let's see if you're awake.
All right, we'll see if I can hold on.
Tonight it's very clear as we're both lying here. There's so many things I wanna say. I will always love you. I would never leave you alone. Sometimes I just forget, say things I might regret. It breaks my heart to see you crying. I don't wanna lose you. I could never make it alone. I am a man who will fight for your honor. I'll be the hero you're dreaming of. We'll live forever, knowing together that we did it all for the glory of love.
All right, random jump toward the end of the song.
This part's no better.
Yeah, but it will give you that end of song key change.
We'll
he gets groovy here. All right, well, there you go. That's a little bit of each of those, and
Okay.
try not to let the quality affect the voting. And here we go, and find out if we like these. I gotta be honest, this song fucking blows. I really need to pull some more quotes for these bits. I've only got the 2 right now. All right, so let's start with 3 seed Take My Breath Away. Joe, how do you feel about that song?
I mean, I think I said the last time, I don't want to like this song, but I really kind of do. How about you?
Yeah, I'm on board with you. This is a like. It's hard to deny. You don't want to go around telling people, "Oh yeah, I love that love ballad from Top Gun. That's a great song." It kind of ruins your credibility, but there
Yes,
it
it
is.
does.
The truth is the
Yeah.
truth. And we were both singing along with that and like enjoying that song when it was on.
That's true. What about Glory of Love? Keith?
Man, god damn it. These Chicago and Pet Cetera ballads were a huge part of growing up in that decade.
Yes.
And they cannot be eradicated from that timeline. But this one, I don't really like.
Yeah.
I've gotten more and more tired of it as this thing goes on.
Yep.
I kind of was all right with, oh yeah, I remember that when we brought it in.
Yeah.
And
There was
then-
some nostalgia there.
There was a little nostalgia there.
That's gone.
That is waning.
Yeah,
yes.
no.
And
This
what about you?
song
I
is
assume-
the audio equivalent of a bowl of wheat paste. It is boring as fuck. Don't like it.
Don't like it. All right.
No.
Well, there you go. That's not good, right? I think we need to find out who's to blame for these, though. Don't we?
We
Yes.
probably should.
I kind of, I may have skipped over that, but that's all right. Joe, you obviously subscribe to Red Book, not Billboard.
Keith, are you happy? My ears are bleeding now. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you happy?
All right, so number 3 seed, Take My Breath Away, comes in with 80 points. It was ranked 15th for me, unranked for you. I am wholly responsible for Take My Breath Away.
Fair enough, and that's a good call. I've said this before. I'll say it again. This was a miss for me. I should have put this one on my list, but one that I shouldn't have put on my list, but did, was The Glory of Love, 15 seed, came in with 88 points. And Joe, you gave it a 23. I gave it an actual 65. It was ranked just outside of my 64, but it's still the same as though I didn't rank it.
Right.
Because it ends up. So this is 100% your responsibility. As we've seen this. A lot of the movie bracket stuff ended up being yours. A lot of the foreigners without foreigners stuff ended up being mine. And that's where we're at. So these are 2 of your babies coming in here. And
Listen, I claim no paternity over Glory of Love. Thank you.
I mean, it's your 23rd. It's in your top 25, well within the top 32 or top half of your songs, because it is undeniably 80s. That Pete Cetera sound
Yeah.
is super 80s sounding. It just might be a part of the 80s that you want to forget.
Indeed.
However-
much like jams.
Oh my God, I love jams.
Oh, dude.
All rise.
All right, fight on it.
Well, think about this. Before
Yeah.
jams, we had tight shorts that were way too high.
That's
Now,
true.
jams were shitty looking, but they gave me the length I needed.
I get it.
70s and early 80s shorts were insufficient insofar as length is concerned.
I have very clear memories of like some very stretchy, very artificial fabric that was kind of real tight and came to about mid-thigh.
Yeah.
Not flattering.
It wasn't a flattering look. Jams gave me that looser, but then they had god-awful patterns on them. That was the problem.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Jams.
Oof.
But yeah, I once borrowed a pair of Jams at summer camp from a friend of mine, and I was like, I've never felt so free. So shout out to my pal from summer camp if you're listening to this. Thanks for the Jams. All right, Joe, we got to make arguments.
We do.
About these things. Now,
okay.
Neither of us really cares for the glory of love, but let's make an argument for it.
Okay. The argument for it goes like this. That, like you have said, like you just said, that Peter Cetera / Chicago sound, quintessentially 80s. It was like woven into the fabric of the decade, as I believe you said.
Yeah.
Cannot escape it. It is 80s. That kind of over sincere lyrics. That kind of, again, boring ass
it's this
music.
Very earnest. Yeah. All this like laying the soul bare and
Yep.
And very ballady, very schlocky, very heavy-handed, right?
Yep.
And also, I mean, the sound is synthy and it's programmed and
yes,
there's some practical instruments in there, but it's got an 80s sound to it as well. But
right. Yes, this one sounds like it was created in a lab, but not in a great way.
And that video is so creepy. Cetera's body movements and eyes in that video, so fucking creepy, guys.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Karate Kid franchise, though, hard to find more 80s movie franchises than that one.
I agree.
There are several that stand atop, that mountain with it, but it's up there with some of the, because I think in the 80s there were 3 Karate Kid movies. I'm not sure if the 4th one came out.
No, definitely the 4th one was in the 90s, I think.
But I think the first 3 were squarely in the 80s. And so it was a franchise to be reckoned with for sure. Where
indeed,
as Top Gun was a kind of standalone film, but a monster of a film.
It was one of the biggest hits. And again, if we end up doing an 80s movies bracket, it's going to be a 1 seed. You know this.
It'll be up there. And the original Karate Kid will be in that tournament as well. I just don't know where it'll end up, but it'll be high.
Yeah.
It'll be a high seed for sure.
So take my breath away. Also super synthy.
Right.
That
very smoky.
that iconic opening.
Absolutely.
That just sets the mood for the entire song.
This is the amount of drama that would make your sister, very excited while making out with one of the Todds, right?
That's it. Yes. Couldn't say which one, but yes.
It doesn't matter. It's called the Todd problem, right?
Oh, actually, you know what?
Yeah, what?
I have a very clear memory of her being with the guy who would become her husband, not a Todd, not a Rod, but a Brian.
Oh, okay.
And I know they were big fans of watching this movie on video.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you have it.
And so maybe they fancied themselves as the 2 lead characters, Charlie and Maverick.
I don't want to speculate on any kind of role-playing that was happening.
No, let's keep that out of your mind. It's your sister, for God's sake.
Yep. Thanks.
I mean, she's a healthy human female, but we don't need to talk about that.
That's it.
But Meg, if you want to tell us about it in the comments,
no,
I'll be happy to read it.
I will look away. Anyway, the point is, this song heavy on the drama, heavy on the synth, runaway hit, very 80s,
smash hit, so both of these are very ballad-y. Mm-hmm. But this kind of ballad was massive back then.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know a ton of the current top 10 like today, right now.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't know if a lot of it is more hip hop based these days. I don't know if there's as many ballads as there used to be. But who knows? The teenage condition is the same. It might be manifested differently, but there's still that hormonal thing and growing up and figuring out who likes you and who doesn't like you and all that.
Well, why don't we have all of our Gen Z listeners weigh in?
I mean, the only ones we have are in your household, right?
They don't listen to this.
But you could ask if there's
I could
ballads.
ask.
Yeah, are there still ballads like this?
Excuse me, are there ballads?
So the question is, which one of these songs would you point at and say, this ballad is more 80s, kids? Listen to this thing. Okay? And I'm going to give you one set of bongos to decide, and then I'll be going first.
Okay.
Because our favorite is a 3 seed, Take My Breath Away. So I'll be
right.
going first. Are you ready to make a judgment here?
I think so.
All right. Oh, man. The bongos are reminding me that I'm not sure I can make a case for either. I clearly like one more than the other. And after a few moments of consideration, I think cultural footprint-wise, I'm going 3 seed, Take My Breath Away. I'm voting Berlin here, Joe.
Okay.
I know it's also my favorite. Mm-hmm. And I considered The Glory of Love. It deserves votes, but I don't think it's going to get mine. All right, where do you come down on this?
Yeah, I'm going with you. I'm sorry. When I hear these two songs,
Yeah.
the opening notes of both, I recognize right away. Very 80s opening notes. Take My Breath Away takes me back.
Takes you
more
there.
clearly than The Glory of Love.
Feel the 80s.
Berlin
in
gets
that
my
song.
vote.
All right. Well, there you go. It can go either way, though. We will accept votes for either of these
right.
songs, and one will move on to the regional final next week.
All right. So if you want to send one of these songs to that regional final, you can find us on our Substack, the 80zest.substack.com. You go on there, make a vote. You can leave your thoughts.
Yeah, tell us about
tell us
the movies you watched.
Yeah,
back then.
Tell us how Peter Cetera saved your life once, whatever. You can also find us on social media platforms by searching for the 80 Zest podcast, because we're out there.
You'll find us on all the major podcast providers, such as, I think you know what they are, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. That's right. Just search for the 80s-est. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're a new listener, give us a like, maybe a review.
Ooh.
All those things help us get ratings that help us find new listeners that can share in the community of the 80s. So
yeah.
And we appreciate all of you guys listening. So hang on and join us again next time on the 80sist, when we're going to move on to the next region and do the band's region Final Four in our next show.
All right.
So that's going to be all the time we have for today's show, but be with us when we get together. Band's region, we're going to knock down these regions and then have some hair metal in between to allow more time for voting. It's all very exciting. Until then, though, on behalf of Joe Wack, this has been Keith Marsteller saying, hey, Joe, do you remember when we talked about Airwolf a couple of shows back? And you said, Yeah, you said, hey, I'm more of a Blue Thunder guy.
Yes, of course. Blue Thunder is the capstone on James Ferrantino's brilliant career. It's the thing that introduced Dana Carvey to the world. If Airwolf is a burger, Blue Thunder is filet mignon, which is a perfect analogy to make for a vegetarian.
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry, I forgot about that when I wrote that, buddy.
That's all right. I'm actually a pescatarian. It's all good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It makes you wonder why the world needed 2 shows about elite assault helicopter teams, though, doesn't it?
Keith, Why did the world need any of the dozens of twin shows or twin movies that we grew up on? It's how we chose our friends, that's why. You and I are friends because we both loved Tom Hanks in Turner and Hooch and hated Jim Belushi in K9.
Oof. Jim Belushi. Ugh. Comedy's version of jorts.
Jim Belushi makes Kevin James look like Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Wow, that guy is really taking a beating in this conversation. But yes, I see what you mean about the twin movies. Like,
right?
I would actually befriend someone who likes Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer's Tombstone, and I would ignore a total moron who likes Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp.
Wait, dude, I mean, you know that Wyatt Earp is more historically accurate than Tombstone, right?
Who are you?
Just fucking with you, man. I'm your Huckleberry.
See if you remember this, Blue Thunder. I did not. Yeah. All right, this is a really long one. So during this, I'm going to say, Joe, you didn't mention to me that Dick Butkus and Bubba Smith were on this show, essentially playing themselves. Same names and everything.
Two of America's preeminent thespians. They were fresh off their acting success in the Miller Lite commercials. Less filling.
Tastes great, I guess, never having had a drink.
No.
Anyway, we'll finish this one up.
All right.
A lot of chopper sounds.
Yeah.
Missiles launching. Buildings exploding.
Wow. This is not a very compelling theme.
I think Airwolf wins on themes.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Here comes the end. Wow.
Helicopter noises.
Did you know this? Blue Thunder was a movie before it was a TV show?
It was a Roy Scheider movie, if I am not mistaken.
That is correct, yeah. I think he ad-libbed a famous line in that movie, right?
That's right. He said, "We're going to need a bigger copter."
That's right. There it is. I know it's in there somewhere. God, what an actor.
That's right. I remember him in All That Jazz where he said, "We're going to need some bigger tap shoes."
There it is. Oh my God. All right. Well, thanks for playing around with Blue Thunder with me there, and we'll see you next time, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay, bye.